What is going on, my beautiful friends? Thank you so much for joining me on another video. Today, we are headed to Whistler North to be exact. Yes, we are. This trail center can be found in my book, The Best Mountain Bike Trails in Canada, available now on Amazon for all of the top mountain biking trails in the country. All right, my friends, we are headed to Whistler North. We're going to be focusing a lot today on the epic XC journey, Comfortably Numb. But before we do that, I have some other sick descent trails to plug you in on. And I must say, for those of you who have never been to Whistler North, this place is absolutely stunningly beautiful. This is the Whistler backcountry. This is the escape. This is the place where you can actually go and relax. Now, sometime those of us, we obviously go to Whistler. We love to ride the bike park. We love to be in the main area. But sometimes those big crowds can bring you down. If you actually want an epic Whistler backcountry experience, look no further than the Whistler North Trail System. And before we get into the XC Epic Comfortably Numb, which is kind of highlighted the whole Whistler North area, we are going to get into a few fun descent trails here. Now, all these ones are black that I have mentioned here with a little double black at the bottom, so know that. Anyways, my friends, this area is very slabby, one of Whistler's most slab-filled wonderlands. So if you are the type of rider who love rock slabs, you are going to want to start your journey out on high hopes. This is kind of one of the easier blacks in the area. It's got some sweet rock slabs, so if you want to get a testing ground on the rock slabs in the area, high hopes, sweet techie riding with rock slabs. That is the easiest black in the area. Not a far climb out from the Wedgemont trailhead. These two first trails can be accessed at the Wedgemont trailhead, and I will tell you about this one in a second. So High Hopes is the first kind of slabby, techie trail you're going to want to ride out of the Wedgemont trailhead. Very fun. High Hopes. Such a good trail. Love it. Absolutely love that trail. The one I possibly love even a bit more, which I'd say is a step up in pay grade, a slight bit harder, the rock slab filled wonderland. I wrote Slab City Out There. Out There is an absolute Whistler classic, single black banger. Out There, one of the most slab filled beasts in all of Whistler, and just an absolute classic Whistler epic. So make sure once you graduate from High Hopes, you can then ride Out There, which is a bit of a mid-black. And then you get on to the Bring on the Weekend, which I would say is a bit of a darker black in time. So this is literally the progression you're going to want to go. The one thing that can be said about Bring on the Weekend is this trail is tough to access. You got to go a long way on these Comfortably Numb trails to get out to Bring on the Weekend. So make sure you have your fitness in check if you're going to get out to these trails. But my God, Bring on the Weekend might be Whistler's most epic single black slab-filled trail. Techie, steep, slab-filled wonderland, harder black is what I wrote down. Bring on the Weekend. My God, these trails are absolutely epic. There's a two-part series, and if you're looking for the slab-filled Whistler Steeps epic descent, Bring on the Weekend is absolutely the one. This trail was hidden for many years. It was a local secret, but now it is on Trail Forks for all of you to enjoy. And if these epic slabs on Bring on the Weekend were not enough for you, then you can ride the little double black extension off of it, Breath of the Wild, which has one of the hugest rock slabs you will see. True double black gnar, one of the hugest rock slabs of all time, and just such a beast. Brilliantly built, but definitely very intimidating. It's a double black in Whistler, so make sure you have your A game if you are riding double blacks in Whistler. Anyways, my friends, for those of you not too much into the descending and want more of an epic cross-country journey through the Whistler North backcountry, stunning views everywhere, huffy puffy climbs, like this one is an absolute beast. So make sure if you're going to ride the Comfortably Numb trails, you have your A game with you. You absolutely need the fitness. You absolutely need the cardio, but be ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Now, it should be said, this is one of those backcountry epics. So come prepared with your bike tools, food, water, navigation, everything you're going to need for a good, 5+ hour journey in the mountains. So this trail, Comfortably Numb, it's a bunch of conjoining trails, about 4 or 5 trails, but it is one epic ride, the Comfortably Numb Trails. It was designed by Chris Markle, the trail building legend in Whistler. This man is a legend in Whistler, has built many trails outside of the village, many of these backcountry epics that we have come to love. It is an IMB Epic XC journey. So for those of you who don't know, it's the International Mountain Bike Association Epic. So when they say it's an epic, that means it's just an epic backcountry long ride. So it is rated an IMBA Epic. So they don't do this for every trail. If it's an IMBA Epic, you know it's going to be epic. All right, my friends. Ideally, you need 2 cars. You definitely need 2 cars for this one, unless you're going to do close to 50 kilometers and over around 5,000 feet of climbing. I don't think you want to do that. 2 cars, one at the Wedgemont trailhead, the other in the village. So you start at the Wedgemont side, and there's lots of climbing. To start this trail, there is lots of climbing on this trail. So this one is not for you downhillers. Stick to the bike park. This one is the epic backcountry journey, lots of climbing, and very technical terrain. So lots of roots and rocks, 24 kilometers of rocks, roots, and granite. Also got a lot of wooden bridges and this is the backcountry, baby. This is not groomed for your flow trail. This is rooty, rocky, slabby, technical terrain. So do not expect a lot of flow on this trail, if any at all. This is a backcountry grind, which will test your cardio unbelievably. Once you get through all the grinding, you will hit the 4-play descent, which many people think once they get to the end. So the 4-play descent will take you down into the beautiful little Lost Lake Trail Network, which is an awesome little network itself. We will highlight later. Great for intermediate and beginner riders in Whistler. Anyways, my friends, so once you hit the 4-play descent, this is an XC descent, and it has some uphills on it. So do not expect a straight descent down into the Lost Lake Trail Network. This one does have some pedaling, does have some climb, but it's also a very, very sick technical descent with some sick rock slabs on it. So it's a fun one, but do not expect to be busting straight down. There is some traversing, there is some little bit of climbing, but it is a very fun technical descent down into the Lost Lake area. And anyways, my friends, another classic trail in the Whistler North area is Kill Me, Thrill Me. So I wrote that's a good training ground at 5.5 kilometers. That is another Whistler classic. That might be the one you want to do first, but that one is also very janky, very rooty, very technical. So that one will also test you, but that one is much shorter, coming in at 5.5 kilometers. Kill Me, Thrill Me. Another single black Whistler classic. My God, my friends. The Whistler North, this place is serenity. This place is epic backcountry riding at its finest. And do not expect a lot of flow here. Expect many janky, slab-filled, root and rock-filled trails. Expect much epicness. But as I said, if the big crowds of the village are bringing you down, look no further than the Whistler North, where serenity awaits. I remember, I think it was before I was dropping in out there, just sitting. I believe there's just an epic viewpoint, and you just hate your life that you're not living in Whistler. When you are sitting off looking into the epic viewpoints out there, you're just like, man, why do I not live in Whistler? Life is so much better here. Life is obviously so much more expensive here. This is a place where a banana will cost you $3. I'm absolutely not kidding about that. But my God, how magical Whistler is. I hope you guys can get out to Whistler. It is very expensive. It is illegal to stealth camp in town there. Many people will actually stealth camp in the Wedgemont area. It's a very potholy area. You'll see all the old camper vans and RVs there. So that is just outside of town. I guess enough where they do not hassle you. But my friends, make sure you make it to Whistler. Make sure you make it to Whistler North. Make sure, if you're the type who loves an epic cross-country XC journey that you ride the Comfortably Numb trails. And if you like some sick slab-filled descents, then high hopes out there. Bring on the weekend. Those are all some of Whistler's single black slab-filled epics. Yes, my friends, I really hope you can get out to Whistler and ride the whole Sea to Sky Highway. This book will guide you right through it. We have everything here. 2 in Pemberton. There's about 6 in Whistler, 2 in Squamish, and the 3 North Shore Mountains. It is all here. We are getting into the good stuff, my friends, as the mountain bike season is coming alive. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. We will see y'all soon on another video. Peace and lots of love. I am out.